Hello everyone. So today I want to show you guys how to use your apples in a delicious way. Um, Sometimes I buy some apples and I'll eat a few and I'll eat them with peanut butter, just as a snack. And then I usually end up with like a big basket of apples that are just going to go to waste otherwise. So what I like to do is make apple crisp. Apple crisp is a really, it's one of my most favorite recipes because it's really versatile with the ingredients you use. So if you are a healthier person than I am, you probably won't use as much sugar or butter as I do, but since I do eat sugar and butter and all those things that are generally considered unhealthy, maybe you want to modify this with other things. Man, I really hate this type of light. Let me show you guys. This really stark gray light. It hurts my eyes so much that I almost can't see. So what you're going to need, the two tools that you're going to need well, really you don't need these tools, but it does make your job simpler. This right here, a potato peeler and a melon baller. A melon baller is just this type of tool here. So you start by peeling and coring your apples. So I'm going to do that and then I'll be back. Okay, so just a couple tips for you guys or things you guys could do to cut down on your waste or at least your ability to feed local wildlife or whatever it is. Unless you don't want to attract those things to your yard, then I understand. But I think it's a better way to use your food scraps is anytime that you are like peeling onions or cutting up something that involves you doing something like this, taking the skin off, do it into a bowl. I always have a bowl set out so that we could scrape leftovers into it, or we can, put scraps, do the food scraps like this in here so I can then throw it outside. One, it puts nutrients into your yard. Two, it will get eaten. Things will eat your stuff pretty quickly. And then three, you actually contribute to the ability to actually recycle your trash in your trash can without actually having to split it up. Because I think I watched a show one time where they said that a lot of people's trash doesn't get recycled because it is mixed with food matter and it causes the, things to get wet and soggy and just gross and stinky. And I've noticed ever since I've stopped putting food scraps and stuff into my trash can, I stopped getting really bad smelling trash, and I stopped having I remember this point where I found maggots in my trash can one time. And I was so disgusted. But anyway, so you want to peel about 5 to 6 apples. I'm going to peel the rest of these. And a way to keep them from browning really fast is to toss them in a tablespoon of lemon juice. That acidity will stop them from browning and you won't have to worry about that. But what we're going to do is cut them up in slices and cover them in cinnamon. Obviously, don't eat anything that you're allergic to. You can replace cinnamon with nutmeg. You can replace it with brown sugar. You can replace it with, I don't know, just anything, really. So yeah, I'm going to get these peeled and then I'll be back. Okay, now we got them all cut up, or not cut up. Now we have to use the melon baller. So I love this thing. This thing is so cool. Let me move you guys a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so you cut the apple in half. And then you take your melon baller. And you see the seeds? Put it right over the seeds. And then you just press the top side in, and then you just go around. Sorry, you guys couldn't even see that. Hold on, let me do it again. Put that. Okay. It's like this. And just spin. And you come out with a little melon ball or apple ball. And so then at that point you want to cut it in half again. And cut these like hard ends off. So I just go through and I do that to all the apples. This is a little time consuming, but I assure you the end result is delicious. And so then you can cut it into slices. So the way I cut it into slices, just like this. Slice it, kind of slice it on an invert. And then there you go. Put them in a bowl and put, you do want to work quite quickly, because if you're like me and you don't have lemon juice, your apples are going to get brown fast. But then you could just cover it up with freaking cinnamon. So you want to cut all your apples like this and then cover them in cinnamon. So I'm going to get that done quick and I'll be back. Okay. All that's done. Now you want to, let me get my recipe book, because I know I had the recipe in here for, hold on, let me find it real quick. Okay, so I'm going to read this recipe that I have in here, and you guys can modify it however. 5 cups peeled, cored, sliced apples, half a cup or a stick of butter melted, 1 cup quick cooking oats, half a cup packed brown sugar, 1/3 cup flour. Preheat to 375. Place apple slices in an 8-inch or 9-inch square baking pan. Combine butter, oats, brown sugar, and flour in a bowl. Sprinkle over apples. Bake for 40 to 45 minutes or until apples are tender and golden brown. So that is that recipe. You know, I will put it somewhere so you guys can see it. And yeah, so that's what I do, but that's how I usually make it. But I found this at the store, so I'm going to try this right here to see if that's any better. The only step that I do differently is I add cinnamon to my apples. So I will cover them in cinnamon and a little bit of nutmeg, and it just adds a extra layer of yumminess to this dish. So I'm going to get this assembled right quick. Let me show you guys the recipe, so you guys can pause it and bake it for yourselves. So you can pause that and write it down if you want. I'm going to get this all assembled and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so this is what your streusel or crumble topping should look like. It will look a little different because this is the, like I said, the pre-mix. I've never used a pre-mix. I usually always make this homemade, so I can attest to that recipe being delicious. So here we've got our apples with cinnamon and a little bit of nutmeg. I always like to add little extras. And then you just coat it with your mixture. And you want to do an even layer. Try to get it as even as you can across the top. And I even go as far as, sometimes I will put extra butter, like little sticks. I'll usually put like an extra 3 sticks, not sticks, sorry, little slabs of butter. But I'm not going to this time because I am trying to at least watch what I eat a little bit, because of, you know, after Thanksgiving and all that, eating already a bunch of junk, so why eat a bunch more? Doesn't mean I limit myself though. Like if I'm craving sweets, I'm going to eat sweets. I'm just not going to eat everything, you know. So I'm going to, so this is what our mix looks like. And I will show you guys what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. And this is such a good recipe if you've got a bunch of apples, like I said. That, or like you buy apples and they're like have that mealy texture. I can't stand to eat apples like that. So this goes in for about 20 minutes, but the mixture, if you're making that kind, is 40 to 45 minutes. So I will show you guys what this looks like when it's all finished. Okay guys, our stuff is ready to be pulled out of the oven. So let me show you what she looks like, okay? Yeah, so at this point, I think what I'm going to do, because I've never made this mix before, this box mix or this package mix. So what I'm going to do, because this kind, compared to the kind that I usually make, the book I showed you guys, my recipe, that recipe, is a lot better. It's a lot nicer looking. So let me show you. So there you can see it's kind of like dry looking. Even the apples kind of look dry. So what I'm going to do is take the last bit of this butter that I was using and cut it up into slices and put it on the top and put it back in for 5 more minutes, because I think it will do it a world of good. So just three chunks. So I'm going to put that back in and I'll show you guys what it looks like when I get done. Okay, now let's see if it looks any better with that extra little bit of butter on it. Because man, was that looking sad. Yep, looks better. So, oh yeah, that sounds a whole lot better. It doesn't sound as dry and sad. So if you guys make this recipe, let me know. I'm sure if you wanted to make this for like one person, you could do like 1 apple and 1 tablespoon or a teaspoon of flour, or a tablespoon of flour and like, I don't know, 1/4 cup of sugar, maybe 2 tablespoons of oats, things like that. I'm sure there's ways that you could scale it down to a serving size. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little recipe today, and I hope you guys make it, and I will see you in the next one. Love you guys. Bye.